So let's do an example. An integral of e to the power x times x dx. Right? So here's the thinking I'm going to do to estimate whether my rule is going to be useful or not. So I immediately have here a product, and I see the two parts of the product. Now I have to decide which one is going to be the derivative and which one is going to be the function. Now how do I decide? Because I can decide either way, right? I have two ways to do it. It depends on what I will have to do with those parts. If I make something, one part, a derivative, and I will say e to the x is the derivative, I will have to know how to integrate it. If you make something not the derivative, you will have to know how to differentiate it. And that is much easier than integrating, right? So what you may want to do is you consider these parts and you choose one that is easier to integrate and make the other one the one you differentiate. So can you integrate e to the x?
Yes.
Yes. Can you integrate x?
Yes.
Okay, so this way you can do substitution in any way, right? You have two ways. And now you have to think about which way would make the resulting integrand simpler. Right? So if I differentiate e to the x and integrate x, what do I have? I will have e to the x again multiplied by integral of x, which is x squared. I will end up with e to the x times x squared, which is more complicated. But if I differentiate x and integrate e to the x, I will end up with e to the x times derivative of x, which is simpler. So if I want to differentiate x, I would say that x is v, just to keep that same notation. And I would say that u prime is e to the x. And now I'm going through the technical process of applying that rule. So what I need on the right is going to be the product of u and v, so I have to find u. Well, of course, u is e to the x in this case. I will also need the derivative of v. V prime is 1. And u times v is x times, well, e to the x times x. And then minus an integral of u v prime e to the x times 1 dx. And I know that is e to the x. So my integral is e to the x times x minus e to the x plus a constant. Well, of course, that is a very simple example, but still a useful one.